Tennille, good morning.
Good morning.
Great to see you. I know we are a few states away. You're sitting in California. I'm sitting here in Nashville. I am with Tennille Zachary of Zachary Enterprises. Tennille, we were talking about your pivoting in 2020 and how, you went in to do one thing and people kept asking you to do other things. I think people want to hear how entrepreneurs, navigated 2020. Talk a little bit about lessons learned and how you're carrying those into our 2021.
Well, one of the main lessons that I've learned is to prepare for the unknown. That's one thing that I was not expecting at all. And I wish I had prepared myself early on for a rainy day. And because I had transferred from one business to the other, I didn't have all my ducks in a row. And so it made it very difficult for me. It was very rough. So the first lesson that I learned was to prepare for the unknown. And the second lesson that I learned was to be diligent. And the third lesson I learned was not to give up. So I know the not to give up and diligent but I really feel like if you're diligent in something, you can encourage yourself in the midst of that and not giving up. No matter what happens, you never know what the outcome is going to be. So these are the things that I'm carrying into 2021, is knowing that I need to have a reserve, a contingency plan, and that I also need to be very diligent, and that I also need to make sure that I don't give up. So
we don't actually have to go any further. Those were such powerful words. That's fantastic. And now I've got all kinds of questions, but I know time frame is short here. As you look, how has 2021 started?
2021 has started pretty good so far. I'm not saying financially, but mentally, I feel like I'm more prepared for this year. So it's no matter what happens, I know. And because I'm not a quitter, and it's really hard for that word to resonate in my mind, I've had so many challenges. So 2021 for me is yet another challenge, but it's exciting because I feel that if I can get through 2020, I can get through pretty much anything. So it's exciting for me because I went from not being able to, at one point I didn't leave my house at all. I had to order all my supplies and equipment online. And it's amazing because going into 2021, I would not have never imagined myself in this position. I feel like it made me stronger as a business owner. I've learned so much. And it literally had me going from being a sound engineer to actually sewing my own face masks, and I would post them and people would see them and say, "Oh, I like that. Think it can make me one." So then I started mailing face masks that I was sewing everywhere. So it opened up a whole new world. It was like a whole plethora of, opportunities and ideas for me. So I'm excited about 2021 because I know that my possibilities are endless. So I learned a lot about myself in 2020.
That's beautiful. Oh my goodness. So, you went into a little bit right then around, your prospects for 2021 and how you're doing. Talk a bit about how your business has pivoted through this process.
So originally, I am a sound engineer at my church, and I wear two hats. I'm a sound engineer and I'm a secretary. So I go from the front desk to the mixer. And when we had stopped having services, and thank goodness for my pastor, she still allowed us to receive payroll. So I wasn't without, thank goodness for her. And because of that, like all of the, I want to say when we got to a point where no one was going out at all, it made it very difficult for us to go out and do whatever it was that we needed to do. So I ended up making face masks, because whenever I did have to go out, you know, at the time I couldn't buy it, and it was hard to purchase it online. I mean, you know, there was, it was, everything was backed up. And so when I decided to start making my face mask, that, like I said, it opened up a whole nother area for me, because people started asking me to do that, and I would make these videos and take pictures. And then because again, a lot of my experience came not only from working in the industry, but also working at the church. So then I've had people say, hey, do you make obituaries? Somebody told me, your sister told me, like my sister sent me so much business. And so my business took a turn, and I want to say it upgraded, because I went from being a videographer and a video audio editor to, you know, and then I also did this for the church, which I'm really grateful for. I got so much experience in making, you know, obituary programs, tribute videos. So people started calling me, and unfortunately, people, you know, many people passed last year that I knew, that I had relationships with, that I was close to. And then also, you know, people that I was associated with lost a lot of loved ones. So they were calling me. And of course, my pastor would call me to do this as well. And that's actually where I got my training from. My bishop, my pastor, they trained me how to do that. And so I was prepared for everything that came my way. I was actually prepared for it. And the awesome thing about it is when we ended up doing, I think we were into like maybe the third person that had passed during the year. And my sister called me and she said, I have a friend, and she, you know, she lost her mother, and we would like, you know, and she's also a friend of mine too, but they wanted to have a proper service for her. So they asked me to do the memorial service, the obituary, the video. So she was actually my, one of my good friends, and it was very painful. But so we ended up, just to skip forward, we ended up doing, literally going, you know, did like the whole process for her. Well, that opened up a whole nother area, because then I started getting other phone calls. That alone made the business itself grow in what my functions were as a business. So I want to say the turn that my business made, and I know that was like a mouthful, but the turn that my business made was actually adding functions to my business that originally wasn't there. You know, now I'm into digital design.
There you go. So hey, what you just said was thrive. You survived to thrive, and that's beautiful. We're coming to our end. Tennille, blessings to you. That was awesome. Thank you for the words of encouragement. This was great. I wish you a very successful 2021.
Thank you.